We're going to be talking about Aries moon, right? So, first things first, let's talk about the moon. Because before we discuss the lens that the moon is looking through, like these glasses that I have on my motherfucking face, you gotta know the moon. So, what is the moon? So the moon is your reactions, your emotional state, and I mean, pretty much that's it. It's just you like when you're moving around, acting and all that stuff, and you go, wait, hold up, what did they just say? And like you like reacting to that is your moon. You coming up with realizations is your moon. Realize, realize, realize. Like your real eye, your first eye. Don't let any dipshit tell you it's your third eye because they're stuck in their physical ass existence. That's your moon? This is your moon right here. That's you going like you don't have to like you don't have to like come up with a freaking visual representation to realize shit. You just go, oh, it's that light bulb moment in your head. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. And then like going off of freaking like comfortability and all that shit. We didn't really start dibbling and dabbling it into all these like crazy first eye juices and DMT and shit going crazy until we sat back, were comfortable, and were able to meditate and clear our space and see what was going to come up for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, not until people were coming up with motherfucking mudras and just chilling and relaxing until this shit was happening, You need to be comfortable. And that's a part of the moon's energy, ain't it? So now that we have a little bit of that out of the way, let's put the freaking Aries shades over the moon and see if the moon is looking through Aries. So off the bat, the moon does not, I mean, I don't want to say it hates being in Aries, but it really doesn't like it because Aries is an uncomfortable sign. Aries, Aries moons especially, man, those motherfuckers will, like, you may subconsciously feel that pain is normal to some extent. And then, like, until you realize that, you'll be walking around like, I'm going through these situations, I don't care if I gotta bash through and bust through whatever the fuck I got going on, I just gotta do it, and that's Aries, it's the older brother of the freaking zodiac, it's the first one, it's the I am, this is me. I don't know what else is going on, so I just gotta do it. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's Aries, And the reason why Aries moon feels like that is because the moon doesn't want to be in Aries. So if it's looking through Aries, it's going to go where Aries wants to go. And Aries is exalted in Mars, no, it's not exalted in Mars, it's ruled by Mars and exalted in Leo. So, exalted in the sun. I don't know why I said Leo, but Leo's ruled in the sun, so you can see where I made that distinction. But, all these little fuckers will help you know a little bit more about astrology once I clarify, which I just did. So, if the Aries freaking moon is going to its exalted place, it'll go to Leo, It'll just be like, duh, 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 walking in like shit. Like, here, check this shit out. So, like, think about it. If it's freaking like Halloween and I got me some Reese's cups, right? And I want to trade up and get me some Reese's cups because I only like Reese's cups, I'm going to freaking talk to all these little kids that meet up at my Halloween spot with my freaking 20-pound sack of candy in my pillowcase coming back home from the rich neighborhood. Because I'm like, yeah. Those rich motherfuckers have a freaking curfew around 9 p.m. So as long as I go do that in between the time where like the parents are putting their kids to bed and they're taking the bowls inside of candy, I can just roll on through and dump these bowls of candy in my freaking pillowcase. You know what I'm saying? So then, when I come back, I'll be like, yeah, I got all this candy. But this is where the whole, like, Aries moons being introverts that feel like they have to be extroverts come into play. Because they don't want to really be bothered. The moon wants to be fucking comfortable, so it's kind of like, it's like when there's a scandal for like a celebrity or something, like, and they're getting ahead of the story by coming out, like, I fucked up, man, I shouldn't have said that, and I was I shouldn't have went wrong with this, it's like the opposite of what Kevin Hart did after calling people gay, and then like the freaking LGBTQ community got mad about that 10 years later, if the opposite of that is what a Leo freaking ascendant would be, with the Aries moon on its expressive side would be doing, it would be like, yeah, I got all these Twixes, I know you want Twixes, man, give me them Reese's, it's just creating that scene because it feels like it has to, And then, not the flip side of that, but the other side of that is the Mars side. So this is where an Aries moon will just feel like, it's just like, just gotta do it, and it's just like, they just do it, because there's nothing there. I mean, like, there really ain't nothing to it but to do it. So that's where they'll just be like, they'll feel like they have to do something, and feeling like you have to do something isn't the same as desiring to do something or wanting to do something, it can be like, I mean, you can't have like all this flipping and dipping and, come up with your like a crazy logic around and rationalities around why you're doing something. But feeling like you have to do something is not the same as feeling as you want to do something. And Aries moons can completely do both. I'm just describing it from this perspective for explanation purposes, So I mean, like that's that. Like an Aries moon is like it's like let's talk about some famous Aries moons. So we got Billy on the Street, we got freaking Tupac, we got Jimmy Kimmel. You'll probably know one out of those threes. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel's a Scorpio sun, so he's kind of like cooling off a little bit. So it's very like it's like precise Aries. It's like I feel this way, I'm calm about it, I'm doing it. But he may still feel the same on the inside and keep it to himself. You know what I'm saying? Tupac was obvious. Like he was freaking like he was just out there like motherfucker. I feel this way, and if someone said something that he didn't like, he'd be like, It's like, you really, I'm trying to keep it together for you. And like all that shit, and then like Billy on the Street, man, you already know, man. He's like the most like not famous person there is. He was on American Horror Story doing all the shit, but he's an Aries moon, and he's literally, I've talked about it before. He's literally famous for doing Aries moon shit. He's just rolling up. He's like, for $1. He just comes up to you for $1. For $1, man. Do you think Sarah Jessica Parker's shoes are as good as they say they are in Vogue? Fuck out of here, and people are like, this man's really going out here doing his thing, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, I mean, I guess I'll get a little more specific about what Aries moons do. So if you talk about an Aries moon, like they fucking hate explaining themselves twice. Like they will literally sit there, look at you like you're retarded. I mean, part of my use on the R word, I know it's not something that I don't want to, disparage the differently abled, but like look at you like you're a freaking dipshit, and just like they'll just look at you and like sit there and be like, I know you heard what I said, and then they'll do that, they'll just like wait a little bit for that, like they may wait, or they'll probably wait and talk shit on you at the same time, and look at you like, you heard what I said, now go back and do that little thing in your mind where you reanalyze what, like the freaking sound bite that I know is in your brain, and then you'll know what I said, and then by looking at you like, you'll be like, what did he say, and then like, oh, apparently you actually did hear it, huh? That's an Aries moon situation. And depending on their sun sign, they may just like talk out of their ass and like talk like they know authority. An Aries moon knows how to command fucking authority. That's just what they do, because they are certain in how they feel about something, and that's important for direction, because when in leadership situations, you're following like a mentality, a passion, something, a way to see and feel about a certain situation, and it may be backed and supported by logic or emotion or a freaking sense of practicality. It may not, but you're always following that type of fire. I didn't even mention that Aries moons are cardinal fire. Cardinal fire, initiating, creating new ways of seeing and feeling about things. That's Aries moons and Aries in a nutshell. And now if you apply it through a moon and apply it through their feelings and reactionary states, you get Aries moon. But back to what I'm talking about. So when Aries moons know what they're talking about, they will not, it's just like, oh my God, it's like they're like an audio tour to a museum, man. They're only telling you once, and it does not have a replay button on that, because I cannot express enough that like when they know what they're talking about, they know what they're talking about. You better not ask them twice. Because it's just like, it's so annoying. You're gonna tingle the shit out of the Mars aspect, where it's like they can't, like, you've seen that shit, Shit, what else do Aries moons do? If you can't guess my moon sign, I'll insinuate it for you, But yeah. Shit, what else do they do? They, yeah, I don't know. They just be catching waves. I should talk a little bit more about how they feel that like pain is normal to some extent. So when you're in situations of just like jumping into shit and like going through shit, like you don't know what's gonna happen, and there's a kind of like there's like a subconscious understanding of that, this could be some bullshit, and going through, like, it won't take an Aries moon long to realize that life can blow up back in their face the exact way that they expressed it to life, like they're just like, fuck you, I'm doing this, and then next thing you know, man, they rode down that hill no hands during a freaking hurricane on their bike, and a car came out and hit them, like you could have swerved, but one, it was raining, Like during a hurricane, the freaking transformers on the telephone poles are probably exploding. So it's like, you're really threading the needle there, buddy, and you don't need to. So it's like, in those situations where you kind of don't need to, they may get kicked in the ass more than they think more than they think, and life doesn't have to be that way. And that's something that, like, if you are an Aries moon, you really should take into account, because, like, I'm sorry I said, the L word so much, but it's just, you don't, like, I don't know what to say other than you don't have to do it. Like, life can be comfortable. You can engage with, like, a raw creative force from a comfortable space. You just don't, because, you haven't seen it. I mean, it is what it is. When you're out here just being you're not listening to anybody. You're like, what are you going to tell me? And if you're telling an Aries moon something, you better lay it down the way they lay it down and have it with fact. And if you see them doing these feelings of like, you got to tell them right then and there to calm their ass down because of this, and this, And once you create a way that this is why when you're teaching someone something, you always got to, like, walk them through the questions you ask themselves. And they might come up with different answers, but at least you led them down a path to know for themselves, And that's, like, in a nutshell, that's how you would kind of, like, teach an Aries moon how to do something, You just gotta walk them through the questions so they can see it for themselves. Like, you can tell a lot about a zodiac sign by knowing their element and modality, like, just like the house, the planets, and all that they're in, just like, that just adds to the story. But you have to come up with the story yourself, because this is an energetic study, and, it's you're the one in shape and form, so pick the shape and form, bro. Like, don't freaking quit saying fire signs like just like sports, or they like being active or something. They full well could be active in the mind, Like I'm getting off track. I said like too many times. That's how you know. That's how you know, man. I am. That's when I'm running out and I'm rambling, when I use them filler words. All right, that's an Aries moon for you. If you have any more questions, ask. Peace.